Yeah, next we're going to dive into how this rematch would play out and what's at stake. So let's sit back and get ready for some fantasy booking. It's going to be a wild ride because wrestling is weird. The American Dragon, Daniel Bryan, battles the ring general, Gunther. Let's go.
At the 2024 Royal Rumble, the match reaches its final four: Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and an unknown challenger. Reigns has been dominating throughout, throwing out wrestlers left and right, while Punk and Rollins battle to stay alive. As the tension builds, the crowd starts to wonder if The Rock is number 30. The final countdown is here. Three,
Uh,
two, one. Buzzer has sounded. Suddenly, the lights in the arena flicker and go out. For a moment, the arena falls silent. The crowd sense something big is about to happen, chanting yes, yes, yes with growing intensity. The lights come the lights come back on and the unthinkable sound of Daniel Bryan music hits. The place erupts as Bryan makes a shock return, sprinting to the ring to a massive ovation, chanting, yes, yes, yes. With the final four locked in battle, Bryan wastes no time, charging in and takes down Reigns, Punk, and Rollins. With a furious strikes and kicks, the crowd goes wild as Bryan unleashes his signature move, knocking Rollins and Punk off the apron. The excitement reaches a fever pitch when it's down to Bryan and Reigns.
Ooh.
And in a stunning final exchange, Bryan delivers a running knee to Reigns, knocking him back against the ropes. With Reigns dazed, Bryan uses all his strength to eliminate him with a flying dropkick, sending Reigns
Wow.
crashing to the floor. The crowd explodes as Bryan raises his arm in victory, chanting, yes, yes, yes. His surprise return and his biggest victory earned him a spot at WrestleMania, setting the stage for his next big challenge. As for
Nice.
Gunther defends the World Heavyweight Championship in a hard-hitting triple threat match against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. The
Hmm.
action is fast and intense, with all three fighting for the title. Gunther, using his incredible power, dominates early on, but Balor and Priest each take turns wearing him down with quick strikes and high impact moves. As the match goes on, Gunther starts to struggle,
Hmm.
barely able to defend himself after attacks from both Balor and Priest. Each competitor has their own moments to shine, with Balor hitting his quick high flying moves and Priest using his strength to throw powerful blows.
Hmm.
Gunther is on the edge of losing his title, looking like he might be eliminated at any moment. As the match nears it ends, or sorry, as the match it nears to the end, Gunther takes charge, sending Priest out of the ring with a powerful clothesline. Then focuses on Balor, who's struggling to get back up after a chokeslam from Priest. Gunther hits Balor with a huge chop, followed by a big power bomb, pinning him for the win. Gunther retains the World Heavyweight Champion, standing tall in the ring. Uh, Gunther has been unstoppable World Heavyweight Champion, using his strength and power to dominate every opponent. However, when Daniel Bryan returns at the Royal Rumble and earns a title match at WrestleMania, Gunther starts to feel worried. Bryan, who is known for his heart and never give up attitude and his wrestling skill, is the kind of fighter Gunther hasn't faced in a while. Bryan represents hope, and Gunther is starting to fear. Even though Gunther is bigger and stronger, Bryan's passion makes him doubt himself. The WWE Universe gets behind Bryan, rooting for the underdog, and Gunther starts to realize that this will be his toughest fight yet. At WrestleMania 25 Fantasy Booking, the two fighters face off. Bryan enters to a huge cheer from the crowd, full of energy and confidence. Gunther, th- Gunther, though powerful, feels the pressure of being the champion. The match begins, and it's clear from the start that Gunther is unsure and he tries to use his strength, but Bryan moves quickly in avoiding Gunther's attack. Bryan lands several strikes to Gunther's legs, making the champion staggered. Gunther seems confused and frustrated, not used to being on the defense. Gunther is struggling here. Seems Bryan's speed and skills are catching him off guard. After a back and forth match, Gunther eventually hits Bryan with a huge chop, but Bryan isn't stopped. Bryan hits a flying knee and even locks Gunther in his yes lock submission move. For a moment, it looks like Bryan may win the title. Gunther seems afraid and trapped in the hold, but with great effort, he managed to reach for the rope to break the hold. The standout moment was when Daniel Bryan jumped from the top rope to the outside onto Gunther, who was on the announce table but managed to move out of the way. With this opportunity, Gunther's strength is too much, and he hits Bryan with big moves like suplex and power bombs. But Bryan refused to stay down. The battle gets more intense, trading blows, and Bryan landing stiff kicks while Gunther delivers heavy strikes. The crowd chants yes, yes, yes as Bryan tries to lock in his signature yes lock submission, nearly trapping. Oh, hold on. Nearly trapping him. Gunther showing his strength and power out the hole, rolls out of the way and takes Bryan down with a huge chop. Gunther attempts to finish Bryan off with his finishing powerbomb, but Bryan counters mid-air, lands a second running knee to Gunther's head. Bryan goes for the pin again, but Gunther barely kicks out. The intention in the stadium rises. In the final countdown, Daniel Bryan backs up to the ring corner, hinting for another running knee. The fans are chanting, yes, yes, yes. Bryan is off, but unfortunately, Gunther delivers a brutal chop, followed by a devastating signature clothesline and pins Bryan. The ref counts 1, 2, 3. Gunther wins. The crowd goes silent for a moment as Gunther celebrates holding the title. However, the camera shows that Daniel Bryan's foot is on the ropes, but the ref did not see it. Bryan's still laying on the mat, realizing the mistake. The ref reviews the situation after a brief discussion and decides to restart the match. Wait a minute. The referee is restarting the match? Bryan's foot was on the ropes. The
Mm,
pin shouldn't have counted, said by Graves. The bell rings again and the match
mm,
resumes. Gunther surprised and frustrated by the decision charges at Bryan with another clothesline, but is caught off guard by a huge running knee from Bryan. Bryan
mm.
then follows up with a Fury strikes, wearing Gunther down with the crowd fully behind him. Bryan locks in the yes lock once again, and this time Gunther has no way out.
Wow.
After struggling for a few moments, Gunther finally taps out and Bryan is declared the winner. Michael
Wow.
shouts and it's Michael shouts in excitement. Daniel Bryan has done it. He is the new world heavyweight champion. What a incredible comeback.
Wow.
Bryan celebrates as the crowd erupts with joy. Gunther, Gunther, tired and frustrated, watches from the ring as Bryan holds the title high. While Gunther's reign is over, the respect between the two competitors is clear. Bryan's heart and passion have finally earned him the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, but it's clear that this victory was hard earned. Gunther, though defeated, gets back up and shares a look of respect with the new champion. Gunther realized that Bryan pushed him harder than anyone before. The fight leaves him with a new understanding of what it means to be a true champion. But then he realized that he's the ring general, clotheslines Daniel Bryan,
Wow.
followed by his finishing powerbomb, laying the world title on Daniel Bryan before leaving the ring. The end.
Wow. Wow.
Mm,
That's well, that's pretty good actually. That was really good. I like
Thank
how
you.
you build up on like his return, how he won a match to get a title match. But I did like how it ended. That was pretty sweet. I was like, wow. I
What you thought was gonna win?
thought it was gonna be Daniel Bryan.
Oh, so that did that twist?
Yeah,
Uh,
because
did that
when you
twist
said
get you then when I said Gunther won
yeah,
the first?
yeah, I was like, wow, he actually won the first. I was like, oh my god, and that's kind of like threw me off. I was like, wait a minute, and that's kind of like wow. So I thought it was really good because you did explain like when he came back, the crowd anticipation was kind of like, who is it? Obviously, people kind of knew, right? People always know now. It's no longer a surprise. Well, that's pretty fire though. I like how, and then you say they restarted the match, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
man, 'cause I don't know what direction you were going. I'm like, okay, wait, he
Good.
did, because they never really restart the match, so it's a rare occasion if it does happen. So you
Mhm.
did do it where you're like, well, they never really do this, but we're gonna do it, kind of thing.
And then obviously this is my first time reading it out like to another person. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. So
Yeah, it's fire. I mean, Jovi uses that. I'm like, hey, Ian did that first.
I know.
Who's the producer? I need to talk to them now.
But overall, if overall, so you would basically, I mean, you kind of said it. You would say, "Hey guys, book this right now."
Yes,
I was
let's
gonna,
do it.
because I, all right, so A plus, I would say.
A plus. Oh
Appreciate it,
yeah.
appreciate it.
I like how you brought him back and not just put him in like a title match. You like actually made him earn it.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the way I like
and
it.
it's Daniel Bryan. It's
Yeah.
it's Daniel Bryan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's it makes sense. It works. Um, and also it's Daniel Bryan versus Gunther. You're telling me
Mhm.
you don't want to see that?
That'd be awesome.
You know, frankly, does Daniel Bryan need to win the Royal Rumble? Yes and no. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying that's how I would do it. If somebody says, "Hey, we're thinking about bringing Daniel Bryan back," how would you guys do it? This is how I would do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
So, but yeah. All right, well, this will be it for this episode. Appreciate everyone who tuned in, made it this far on this episode. IAN is who I am, and a storyteller is who I'm trying to be. And if you're feeling so high and joy, give me a holla. But since we can't hear you, ever el minestrone or minestrone.
Minestrone. Il minestrone, man. And no Savo over here. Minestrone, what am I, a soup?
Hey baby, I'll eat you up right now.
Oh,
I
wait
could
a
go
minute,
for some soup right
man.
now. I ain't gonna
Oh,
lie.
God.
I'm that
It's cold
cold.
outside. Yeah, I
It's
know,
that
right?
cold.
Oh, dude.
Ever take us home.
Yeah, they can hit that 5-star Frog Smash review and follow us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Share us on social media. Until next time, see ya.
And we are out.